everybody, I'm Hua, and it's my pleasure to share my book, Sun Tzu's Art of War, a modern exposition with you. My book was published in China 2015 and then published in Korea, Thailand, and UK. The total sales exceeded 1 million copies, so it's an international bestseller. There are two major books written on warfare. One of them is Art of War by Sun Tzu, and the other is On War by 18th century Prussian strategist Karl von Clausewitz. Even though On War was written 2,700 years after war, Liddell Hart, a modern British military theorist, said, compared to Art of War, On War is dated. This is Art of War's position in the history of military theory. The topic of my talk today is the basic logic of Art of War's 13 chapters. Yes, there are 13 chapters in the book, and like most books on warfare, strategy is covered first, which is followed by tactics and skills. The first 4 chapters deal with the principles of strategy. Chapters 5 to 7 cover the principles of tactics, and 8 to 11 focus on different terrains and the technical points of marching, camping, scouting, and so on. Chapter 12 deal with the use of fire as a weapon, and the last one, Chapter 13, the use of spies. I've summed up the idea of Sun Tzu's book in one sentence. Master your own business and you will never lose. Sound like chicken soup of the soul, doesn't it? But this is Sun Tzu's Art of War. Shouldn't the focus be on the battle against enemy and not yourself? That's why I always say that if the whole world understands the art of war, there would be no more wars. The central ideas of Art of War can be summarized in 3 parts. Number 1, Art of War is not about how to wage a war, but how not to engage in war. Number 2, Art of War is not about how to win a war, but how to reinforce yourself against defeat. Number 3, Art of War is not about how to win a battle, but the theory of winning before fighting. The first thing Sun Tzu tells you is not to wage war. Because once you start, things get out of your control. If you don't start a war, everything will be fine. If you do it, there will be no way to see the light at the end of the tunnel. The second thing is that you shouldn't always thinking about defeating the enemy, just like we always want to talk about defeating our competitors in business. In fact, your competition is not something that you can defeat. There's no one that you can beat. Everyone's defeat is their own defeat. Just like Apple and Nokia. Apple didn't beat Nokia because it didn't attack Nokia at all. It was Nokia itself that lost due to their own mistakes. If Nokia had not made these mistakes, Apple wouldn't have been able to defeat them. Is it a no aspiration to go undefeated instead of aiming for victory? I don't think so. For example, when Warren Buffett talks about investing, he gives 2 pieces of advice. Rule number 1, don't lose your capital. Rule number 2, follow rule number 1. Since he has been investing for 50 years and hasn't lost his capital every single year, which is a lifetime of being undefeated, the cumulative victory would be large. When you invest in stocks, everyone has caught big bulls or have had huge victories, but often one failure and you would have lost everything. That's why it's important to be undefeated. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to share with you my realm of life, which is to be never defeated in our lifetime. That's the real art of war.